We use these things every day. Apps and websites that make really complex tasks, like paying your bills or donating to a cause, feel incredibly simple. But have you ever stopped to think about what it actually takes to build one of these systems from the ground up? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one massive project to see exactly how it went from a detailed plan to a polished final product. And really, that's the core question we're looking at. I mean, think about it. We're talking about a system that has to handle literally every single payment for the International Islamic University Malaysia. That's thousands of students, staff, community members, the whole shebang. That's a massive undertaking. And this is where it all starts. On the left, you're seeing the project's blueprint, a dense 17-page technical document that spells out every single detail. This is the map that's going to guide the whole team. So how in the world do you get from this dense technical thing, to that, a clean, simple app that anyone can use? Well, it all starts with the plan. Before a single developer writes one line of code, before any designer even thinks about a user interface, you've got to have a master plan, a single source of truth that everyone agrees on. And this is that plan. So this document, it's called a technical specification. And really, it's the single source of truth for the whole project. It lays out every single requirement, from what users need to be able to do all the way down to the nitty-gritty details of the software. It's the rulebook, plain and simple. Look, at the end of the day, this document does one absolutely crucial thing. It gets everyone on the exact same page. The university, the developers, everybody knows what the goal is. There can't be any confusion, right? Because this blueprint spells out exactly what success looks like. Okay, so let's actually dive into this blueprint and see what this system needs to do for the people who are going to use it. What are the big ticket items here? What does this thing actually have to do? So the big picture goal, the vision they're aiming for, is to create a single, central place for every single kind of payment you could imagine at the university, right? No more jumping around between 5 different websites just to pay your bills. Okay, so check this out. Here's a specific requirement pulled right from that document. See item number 2? It requires a feature that enables user to make multiple payments at one time, cart. Now, that might sound super simple, but that little line, it's the foundation for the whole user experience. Let's translate that into real life. For a student, this one little line in the blueprint means they can log in, see their tuition bill, their dorm fees, maybe a lab fee, add them all to a cart, and pay for everything in one shot. It takes what could be a total headache and turns it into like a 2-minute task. Simple. But wait. This system is about way more than just student fees. The blueprint also lays out something a lot more ambitious. Check out item number 3. It specifies a full-blown dashboard for donations, endowments, and even crowdfunding campaigns. And this connects right back to what the final product promises to do. It opens the doors for the entire community. We're talking alumni, supporters, literally anyone, to easily chip in and support university projects. The blueprint even makes sure you can share these campaigns on social media, baking fundraising right into the digital world. Okay, so we've got this super detailed 17-page plan. But a plan is just a document, right? How do you actually turn that piece of paper into a real, working, secure product that thousands of people are going to rely on? Well, let's look at how they did it. So the way they tackle this is by breaking the work down into milestones, and payments are tied directly to making progress. You don't just get one big check at the end. The developers have to deliver the plan, then the design, and then a tested system. And notice, the biggest payment, a whopping of 40%, only comes after user acceptance testing, UAT for short. And that's basically when the university staff gets their hands on it and says, yep, this does exactly what we agreed it would do. And the blueprint doesn't just plan for success, it plans for failure too. This right here is the service level agreement, or SLA. It's basically a promise for how fast they'll fix things if they break. And get this, if the whole system crashes, what they call a severity 1, the team has to respond in just 30 minutes. I mean, really, let that sink in. 30 minutes. That is an insanely strict guarantee, and it just goes to show you how critical this system is. When you're dealing with a whole university's money, there's absolutely zero room for downtime. And oh yeah, to top it all off, the document throws down a strict deadline. This entire complex system, from the very first plan to the final delivery, has to be built, tested, and launched in just 6 months. Talk about pressure. All right, so after 6 months of nonstop planning, coding and testing, that 17-page blueprint, it's finally a real thing that students and staff can actually log into and use. And here it is, the final product, IUM as Pay. And its mission statement really says it all, perfectly capturing the whole goal of that meticulous plan, to be simple, secure, and convenient. And this right here is the aha moment. You can draw a direct line from every single feature you see back to a specific line item in that blueprint. The ability to pay multiple fees, yep, that was requirement 3.0.1.2. The donation portal, that was 3.0.3. Support for all those different payment types, requirement 3.0.1.8. Every simple feature is the direct result of a specific, documented requirement.
All right, so what's the point of all this? Why did we just nerd out over a 17-page technical document? What's the big lesson here?
And here it is. This is the big idea. That feeling you get when an app just works, that is never an accident. Seamless, simple, intuitive experiences are almost always the result of incredibly detailed and usually hidden planning. All the crazy complexities handled behind the scenes so that for you, the user, it feels completely effortless. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought to chew on. So, the next time you tap your phone to pay for coffee or you book a flight in seconds, just for a second, think about that invisible architecture, that hidden blueprint that's holding it all together. What unseen blueprint is powering the apps you use every single day?